Introduction, the cosmic radio, tuning into the station. How many times have you looked at the sky with tears in your eyes or a dull anguish in your chest and shouted, "Give me a sign. Tell me what I have to do." And then, nothing. Only the wind. Only the silence of an empty room. Only the feeling that you are talking to yourself, that there is no one up there. Or even worse, that there is someone but you don't matter enough to them for them to answer you. That cosmic loneliness is the deepest wound of the human being. It is the feeling of having been abandoned on a hostile planet without an instruction manual. You have spent your life praying, asking, visualizing, and making dream boards, and you often feel that your messages get lost in God's spam folder. But I have news that changes everything. The universe is not deaf, you are mute, or to be more precise, you are trying to communicate using obsolete technology. The fundamental problem is one of language. You speak to the universe in Spanish, in English, or in French. You speak to it from human logic, from the ego's need, and from complaint. But the universe, or infinite intelligence, the source, the quantum field, does not have human ears. It does not understand your words. The universe is a great mathematical and musical mind. It only understands one thing: frequency and vibration. Imagine that you are an old radio. Your desire, love, health, peace is being broadcast on the 105.5 FM frequency. It is clear, powerful, and beautiful music. But your internal dial, rusted by fear and limiting beliefs, is stuck on the 50.0 AM frequency. On that frequency, only static noise, news of crises, and laments are heard. You shout, "I want to hear beautiful music," but you remain tuned to the noise channel. The universe is not punishing you with silence. It is simply giving you more of what you are emitting. If you emit desperation, you tune into desperation. If you emit doubt, you tune into confusion. The law of resonance is infallible and impartial. In the previous books of this trilogy, we did the heavy lifting. In the invisible legacy, we cleaned the mud of the past and healed the rotten roots of your family tree. In the fifth dimension, we updated your operating system and understood that a new reality is possible. Now, in this final closing, we are going to learn to use the equipment. We are going to learn to move the dial with the fingers of consciousness. This book is a language course. You are going to stop sending letters that never arrive to start sending instant emails. You are going to learn to read the answers, because the universe always responds. It responds through the repeating numbers that haunt you, 1111. It responds through that song that plays on the radio just when you are thinking of someone. It responds through the chills that run down your back when you hear a truth. It responds through dreams and impossible coincidences. The monologue of the victim who feels alone in the darkness is over. The time has come to start the most important dialogue of your existence. The operator is on the line. The line is open. Are you ready to listen? Let's tune in. Chapter 1. Silence is the signal, clearing the channel. God's language is silence. Everything else is a poor translation. Rumi. Imagine entering an immense, ancient and sacred Gothic cathedral. Stained glass filters colored light, the air smells of incense, and the atmosphere is charged with a divine presence that gives you goosebumps. But instead of peace, what you find is a market. There are hundreds of people shouting, vendors with megaphones announcing offers, musicians playing out of tune, phones ringing non-stop, and televisions turned on at full volume on every column. In the middle of that deafening chaos, you try to kneel and whisper a prayer. You try to hear God's answer. Do you think you can hear anything? Do you think your message will arrive clean, or will it mix with the noise of the carpet sale? That cathedral is your mind. That market is your daily life. And that acoustic chaos is the main reason why you feel the universe ignores you. It is not that the divine signal is weak, it is that your static noise is deafening. To learn to speak with the universe, the first lesson is not to learn new words. It is not learning Sanskrit nor Aramaic nor complex numerical codes. The first lesson is to learn to be quiet. And I don't just mean closing your mouth. I mean turning off the internal radio that has been narrating your life and fearing the future. Turning off the radio that has been judging your neighbors since you wake up until you go to bed. Today, we are going to clear the channel. Addiction to noise, the fear of the void. We live in the era of information intoxication. We have become addicted to constant input. We wake up and before our feet touch the ground, we are already looking at our phones. Notifications, emails, news of disasters on the other side of the world. We eat breakfast with the television. We drive with the radio or a podcast. We do this because we have an anxiety towards silence in the car. We work with background music. And we fall asleep scrolling on a screen. Why do we do this? Because we have a visceral panic of silence. Silence is dangerous for the ego, your 3D identity, of which we spoke in the 5th dimension. In silence, there are no distractions. In silence, uncomfortable truths emerge. I am not happy in this job. I feel alone even though I am married. I am afraid of dying. To not hear those internal monsters, we turn up the volume of life. We fill ourselves with noise to anesthetize ourselves. But here is the cosmic paradox. In the same place where your monsters live, God lives. The universe transmits on a very subtle frequency. It does not shout. It does not compete with Netflix. It does not compete with your obsessive concerns. The universe is a gentleman. It waits patiently for you to finish speaking and thinking to whisper the answer to you. If you are never silent, you never hear. If your cup is full of old and cold tea, your repetitive thoughts, the universe cannot pour the new and hot tea, inspiration. To receive, you must first empty. Just the physics of reception, brainwaves. Let's talk about science for a moment. This is not just mysticism, it is neurology. Your brain works with electrical impulses measured in waves. Most of your day, when you are working, stressed, driving, or arguing, you are in beta waves, 1430 Hz. Beta is the state of alert and action. It is excellent for surviving. But beta is a frequency of emission, not of reception. In beta, your brain is making noise outward. You are projecting your reality. The universe, your guides, your higher self, and intuition transmit at lower and slower frequencies, alpha, 8 to 13 Hz, and theta, 4 to 7 Hz. Alpha, the state of light relaxation. It is the bridge. Theta, the state of deep meditation, hypnosis, or REM sleep. It is the direct connection. When you try to pray or ask for signs while stressed and anxious, high beta, it is like trying to download a heavy file from the internet using a 90s phone connection while someone talks on the other line. The connection drops. The message arrives corrupt. Universe, help me, shouted from beta anxiety. The universe responds, but you do not catch the answer because your receptor is saturated with cortisol. To clear the channel, you have to learn to lower your brain revolutions at will. You have to move from the monkey mind to the owl mind. 30. Differentiating the voice, ego versus spirit. One of the most frequent questions I am asked is, how do I know if the voice I hear is my intuition or my own fears, desires? It is a vital question. If you do not clear the channel, you will confuse the noise of your ego with the voice of God, and that will lead you to make bad decisions. Here is the manual. 1. The voice of the ego, 3D noise. Volume. It is noisy, insistent, and repetitive. It drills into your head. Tone. It is urgent, anxious, or authoritative. Often uses fear or guilt. Complexity. It gives many explanations, justifies arguments. Location. It is felt in the head, forehead, or temples. Sensory afterward. It leaves you exhausted, confused, or with a contraction in the stomach. Tus, the voice of the universe, intuition, 5D signal. Volume. It is a whisper, a calm certainty, or a sudden flash. It does not repeat obsessively, it says it once and waits. Tone. It is neutral, peaceful, loving, but firm. It never scares you. Simplicity. It is direct, it does not give explanations. Location. It is felt in the heart, expansion, or in the gut, visceral. Sensory afterward. It leaves you at peace, even if the instruction is difficult. You feel a kind of relief. Clearing the channel means learning to ignore the shouting of the ego, to be able to catch the whisper of the spirit. The ego shouts because it is afraid of not being heard. The spirit whispers because it knows that truth does not need megaphones. Third, the practice of mauna, word fasting. In The Invisible Legacy, we talked about how our ancestors honored silence. In ancient India, there is a practice called mauna. It is the vow of silence. It is not just about not speaking with the mouth. It is about not consuming words. To start talking to the universe, you need to do an information detox. Practical exercise. The sacred hour. During the next 7 days, I challenge you to the following. The first hour of your day, just upon waking, must be mute. Do not look at the phone. Leave it in airplane mode. Do not turn on the radio or TV. Do not speak to anyone. Do not read anything. Just you, your coffee or tea, and the silence. Look out the window, observe the sunrise, listen to the birds, listen to your own breathing. At first, your mind will rebel. I am missing things. I have to look at email. Let it kick. It is dopamine withdrawal syndrome. After 20 minutes, something magical will happen. The static will drop. Your brain waves will move from beta to alpha, and in that empty space, suddenly plop, an idea will fall. A solution to a problem you had been ruminating on for days, or a sweet memory, or a feeling of immense gratitude. That is the universe entering the chat. You have just cleared the channel. Automatic writing, taking out the trash. Sometimes the channel is so dirty, so full of unprocessed traumas and to-do lists, that silence is not enough. You need a plunger. One of the most powerful tools to clear the line is drainage writing, or morning pages, popularized by Julia Cameron. The technique. Take a notebook and a pen, better by hand than digital. Start writing everything that crosses your mind, without filter, without editing, without worrying about spelling. It is a mental vomit. I am tired. I have to buy milk. I am angry with my boss because he is an idiot. I fear not making it to the end of the month. Write 3 pages in a row. What is this for? To empty your brain's RAM memory. All those junk thoughts are taking up space in your transmission channel. They are background noise. By writing them, you take them out of your system. You objectify them. Once you have vomited the superficial noise, your pen starts writing deeper things. It starts writing truths. It starts to channel. Many great artists and business people solve their dilemmas this way, taking out the trash first to find the diamond later. There's nature as a tuning fork. If it is impossible for you to silence your mind in your house, because your house is full of egregores and memories, go outside. Nature has a unique quality. It is always transmitting in God's frequency. A tree is never in beta. A tree does not worry about the future. A river is not in a hurry. Nature permanently vibrates at the Schumann frequency, the Earth's base frequency, 7.83 Hz, which exactly coincides with the alpha-theta state of the human brain. When you go to the forest or the beach, you do not relax just because it is pretty. You relax because of a physical phenomenon called frequency entrainment. Your electromagnetic field, which is chaotic and accelerated, comes into contact with the forest's field, which is slow and ordered. The forest dominates you. Your brain synchronizes with the forest. You calm down. The channel is cleared. Walk, go to a park, embrace a tree. Ask the universe and walk in silence. The answer will come through the rhythm of your steps, or a bird that crosses, or the wind. Out there, the coverage is spiritual 5G. Surf in the power of I don't know, surrender. The greatest obstacle to listening is believing that you already know the answer. I want this specific job in this way now. That is not a conversation. It is a demand. And it blocks the channel because you are filling the space with your rigid expectation. To speak with the universe, you must learn to use the phrase, I don't know. Universe, I have this problem and honestly, I don't know how to solve it. I don't know what is best for me. My limited mind does not see the way out. So I surrender. I make space. You show me the way. The I don't know is an ego solvent. When you admit you don't know, you become humble, you become teachable. You create a vacuum of suction. The universe abhors a vacuum. As soon as you create a space of not knowing, the universe rushes to fill it with wisdom. But as long as you continue believing you are right and have control, the universe stands by, respecting your arrogance. Declare yourself ignorant to be able to be wise. Fate is sleep hygiene, preparing the antenna. The moment before sleep is critical. It is the moment when your brain moves from waking to sleep, crossing the dimensional threshold. What you have in your mind in those last 5 minutes will determine the quality of your connection during the next 8 hours. If you fall asleep watching war news, you take that trash to the astral. Your channel will be dirty all night. You will have nightmares and wake up tired. To clear the nightly channel, turn off screens 30 minutes before. Recapitulate the day, not to judge it but to let it go. Launch the question. Just before closing your eyes, say, "Universe, tonight I want to clear my mind. If there is a message, I am ready." And fall asleep in the confidence that you are being reprogrammed. Chapter 2. The Body as an Antenna, the Physical Sixth Sense. The body never lies. It is the only one that always tells the truth, even when your mind tries to convince you of a beautiful lie. If you want to know what decision to make, do not ask your head. Ask your stomach. Imagine walking down a dark street at night. Suddenly you see a shadow at the end of the alley. Your logical mind says, "Nothing is happening, it's just a shadow. Crime statistics in this neighborhood are low, don't be paranoid." But your body does not have an opinion. Your body reacts. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. Your stomach contracts. Your muscles tense to run. You feel a metallic taste in your mouth. Your body has captured a danger signal seconds before your brain can process it. If you listen to your mind, don't be silly, you could get into trouble. If you listen to your body, you turn around and run, you save yourself. We live in a culture that worships the intellect and despises the somatic. We have been taught to ignore body signals since childhood. Eat everything even if you are not hungry. Don't cry, it's not that big of a deal. Sit still even if you need to move. We have anesthetized our most advanced technology. The universe does not send you a WhatsApp. The universe sends you a physical sensation. Your body is a high-tech bioreceptor. It is an antenna of liquid crystal, fascia, water and electricity, designed to capture the subtle frequencies of the quantum field. While your brain processes information at 40 bits per second, your body processes millions of bits per second. It knows what is going to happen before it happens. Today we are going to learn to recalibrate the antenna so that when the universe calls you, you know how to answer. Either tyranny of the head, the signal cut off. The great error of modern humanity is living from the neck up. We believe we are a brain with legs. We use the body as a taxi to take our head to meetings. When we have to make an important decision, marrying, investing, moving, we make lists of pros and cons on paper. That is a 3D mental tool, and it often fails. How many times have you made a logical decision that ended up being a disaster? And how many times did you have an illogical hunch that you ignored and later regretted? The brain lies. The brain is full of cognitive biases, inherited fears from the invisible legacy, social pressures and old data. The brain can convince you to stay in a toxic job because they pay well, but the body does not know how to lie. The body starts having gastritis every Sunday afternoon. The body starts having migraines every time you see your boss. The body is screaming, "No, not this way." But you take a pill to silence the body and continue listening to the mind. Speaking with the universe requires somatic sovereignty. It means returning to the body its rank of oracle. It means that if your body says no and your mind says yes, the body wins, always. To the second brain, the gut knows. Science has confirmed what shamans knew. You have neurons in your intestine. The enteric nervous system contains more than 100 million neurons, more than in the spinal cord. It produces 95% of the body's serotonin. It is your second brain, and it is much older and faster than the cranial brain. When you say, "I have a knot in my stomach" or "I have butterflies," it is not a poetic metaphor. It is your second brain processing energetic information. This brain is connected directly to the cloud, survival instinct, and quantum field. The visceral traffic light. The universe uses your digestive system as a red or green light. Green signal, divine yes. Sensation of lightness, easy digestion, pleasant warmth in the belly, sensation of hunger for life. Red signal, divine no, sudden nausea without a viral cause, immediate heartburn upon hearing a proposal, closing of the stomach, diarrhea before an event, attempt to purge toxic energy. If you meet someone charming, who smiles, who has a perfect resume, but upon shaking their hand you feel a subtle nausea or a contraction in the belly, run. Your gut has scanned their micro gestures and their auric field and has detected a threat that your social brain does not see. Visceral intuition is the universe's first line of defense. Therefore, the binary code, expansion and contraction. The language of the universe is binary. Basically, everything comes down to two signals: truth, love, and falsehood, fear. Your body translates this as expansion and contraction. This is the most useful tool you are going to learn in this book. You can use it for everything, from choosing what to eat to choosing a partner. Contraction, no. Think of a moment when you felt threatened, humiliated, or sad. What did your body do? It became small. The shoulders curved forward, the chest sank, breathing became shallow or stopped, the jaw muscles tensed, energetically you withdrew. That is a contraction. It means, this is not for me, this is a lie, this lowers my vibration, danger. Expansion, yes. Think of a moment when you felt in love, inspired, or on top of a mountain. What did your body do? It opened up. The chest swelled, the head lifted, the arms wanted to open. Breathing became deep and fluid down to the abdomen. You felt light, almost floating. That is an expansion. It means this is true, this is for me, this is aligned with my soul. Go ahead. Calibration exercise. Close your eyes. Say an obvious lie out loud, e.g., my name is fake name. Observe your body. Notice the subtle contraction, the break, the heaviness. Now say an obvious truth, e.g., my name is your real name. Observe your body. Notice the relief, the ease, the openness. You have just calibrated your compass. Now when you have a doubt, should I accept this project? Visualize it and feel if your body expands or contracts. The answer is immediate. Via the chill of truth, angel skin. Has someone ever told you something? Or have you read a sentence in a book, and suddenly an electric chill has run from the back of your neck to your arms, giving you goosebumps, even though it wasn't cold? In English, they call it truth bumps. I call it angel skin. It is an electric discharge of confirmation. It occurs when an external frequency, a truth told, enters into perfect resonance with your internal frequency, your soul. It is the universe saying, bingo, that's it, pay attention. The ancients believed that when this happened, a spirit passed by your side. Metaphysically, it is the moment when your physical body touches your etheric body. If you're talking to a friend and they tell you a problem, and you give them advice and suddenly you get chills, that advice did not come from you. It came channeled. It is the absolute truth for that moment. If you're thinking of a business idea and you get that chill, do it. It is the signal of cosmic approval. Never ignore goosebumps. It is the most precise lie detector in the world. You cannot fake it. V technique, the human pendulum, sway test. Your body is a pendulum. If you do not have a crystal one, use your own feet. This applied kinesiology technique is based on the fact that the body weakens with falsehood and strengthens with truth. Research by Dr. David Hawkins. How to do it? Stand up, barefoot with your feet hip-width apart. Relax your knees, do not lock them. Relax your arms at your sides. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Center your energy. Say, this is my yes. And wait. Your body naturally will lean slightly forward toward life. Return to the center. Say, this is my no, and wait. Your body naturally will lean slightly backward, away from danger. Now ask your question to the universe. It must be a yes-no answer. Is it beneficial for me to take this trip? Is this food good for my body today? Let the body fall. Do not force it. Trust the magnetic movement. Use it in the supermarket with food. Use it before sending a difficult email. At first it may be subtle, but with practice the movement becomes undeniable. Faced with pain and symptoms, when the universe screams. Sometimes the universe whispers to you, intuition. If you do not listen, it speaks to you, synchronicity. If you still do not listen, it screams at you, physical symptom. And if you continue ignoring it, it hits you, illness, accident. Illness, from metaphysics, is not a punishment or a random failure. It is blocked information. It is a conversation you have avoided having. Every part of your body represents an area of your life. Sore throat and loss of voice. What are you not saying? What truth have you swallowed so as not to disturb? The universe asks you to speak. Lower back pain. Fear of money, of the lack of material support. The universe asks you to trust in sustenance or to change your relationship with security. Knee pain, pride, inflexibility, fear of moving toward the future. The universe asks for humility and fluidity. Skin problems, conflicts of separation or contact. Who touches you that you don't want to touch you? Who do you miss? When a sudden pain appears before taking the analgesic, ask the question, "Dear body, what is the message? What do I have to change in my life so that you don't need to scream at me?" Often, by recognizing the message, the symptom diminishes instantly because it already fulfilled its function as a messenger. 7th, the solar plexus radar, physical empathy. The solar plexus, the pit of the stomach, is your power center and your emotional radar. It is where we connect with others on an etheric level. If you are a sensitive or empathic person, like many starseeds, your plexus is a sponge. You walk into a room where there has been an argument and you feel a punch in the stomach. You feel drained, dizzy, or irritable all of a sudden. It is not yours. You have picked up the psychic trash of the environment. The problem is that if you don't know this, you think, "Oh, how bad I feel, I must be depressed or sick," and you take ownership of someone else's energy. The golden question. When you feel bad suddenly, ask yourself, is this mine? If you feel an immediate lightness, the answer is no. Then say, I return this energy to its origin with consciousness. I close my solar plexus. I am sovereign of my field. Visualize a zipper going up from your navel to your throat, closing your aura. Your body will stop absorbing and will start only detecting without becoming contaminated. Fate. Distinguishing intuition from trauma. Here is a dangerous trap. Sometimes the body screams danger, contraction, tachycardia, sweat, but it is not a real intuition from the universe. It is an activated trauma, memory of the past. Example, you are offered a wonderful new job. It scares you. Your body contracts. Is it the universe saying don't go? Or is it your inner child terrified of leaving the comfort zone because in the past they failed? How to distinguish them? Intuition, universe. It is neutral. It is a dry, calm no. There is no dramatic story. It simply feels off or incorrect. The sensation is one of wisdom. Trauma, fear, ego. It is hysterical. It is a no loaded with panic. It is accompanied by catastrophic images. I am going to fail. They will laugh at me. The sensation is of smallness and agitation. If it is fear, your body will vibrate with anxiety. If it is intuition, your body will feel solid and firm in the negative. When in doubt, take a deep breath to calm the nervous system. If after calming down the feeling of no persists, it is intuition. If you feel excitement and curiosity, it was only fear of growth. Zeitgeist, hardware maintenance, vibrational diet. If your body is the antenna, what happens if the antenna is covered in mud? The signal arrives distorted. You cannot have a clear connection with the universe if your body is intoxicated, inflamed, or dehydrated. It is not a moral issue. It is electrical conductivity. Water. Water is the conductor. If you are dehydrated, intuition does not flow. Drink solarized or intentioned water. Fasting. Why did all the prophets fast before receiving the vision? Because digestion consumes a lot of energy. When the stomach is empty, energy is released for the brain and subtle perception. Try light dinners or intermittent fasting when you need an important answer. Toxics. Alcohol and processed sugar create static noise in the nervous system. They hinder the signal. If you want to speak with the universe, you need to be sober of chemicals. Treat your body like the temple of the oracle that it is. Clean it, hydrate it, and move it so that energy, chi prana, does not stagnate. Chapter 3, God's Algorithm, Synchronicities and Numbers. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Albert Einstein. You are thinking of an old friend you haven't seen in years. Suddenly the phone rings. It's her. Or you walk into a bookstore and a book falls off the shelf right at your feet. You pick it up, and the title answers exactly the question you had been asking for days. Or you look at the clock and once again it is 11:11. Your blood runs cold. You feel a mixture of wonder and strangeness. Your rational mind, the 3D ego, tries to explain it quickly. Bah, it's a coincidence. Pure statistics. It means nothing. But your soul knows the truth. There is no coincidence. There is only causality. You have just seen the source code of the Matrix. You have just seen God's algorithm in operation. We live in a holographic universe. Imagine you are browsing Instagram or TikTok. The algorithm shows you exactly what interests you, based on your previous likes, the time you spend looking at a photo and your searches. The algorithm reads your behavior and returns more of the same to you. The universe works the same way, but much more sophisticated. The divine algorithm reads your vibration, your thoughts, emotions, and deep beliefs, and reorganizes physical reality to put before you events, people, and numbers that match that frequency. Synchronicities are not random miracles. They are the feedback from the system. They are the universe telling you, I hear you, I am processing your order. Here is a confirmation that you are connected. Today we are going to learn to read the cosmic traffic signs. We are going to stop walking blindly to start using the GPS. I, Carl Jung, and the rupture of probability. The father of analytical psychology, Carl Gustav Jung, coined the term synchronicity to define the simultaneous occurrence of two events that have no physical causality, but have an identical meaning for the person experiencing them. That is, there is no physical invisible thread linking your thought about your friend and her phone call. The thread is of meaning. The thread is consciousness. In the fifth dimension, where time is spherical, everything is connected. You and your friend are part of the same quantum soup. When you think of her with emotion, you activate a quantum entanglement. She catches the signal unconsciously and calls you. For the universe, that is not magic, it is fluid mechanics. The magical part is that you notice it. When a synchronicity occurs, a crack opens in ordinary reality. For a second, you see that the world is not dead and cold matter. You see that the world is alive, that it is intelligent, and that it is guiding you. That sense of wonder, wow, raises your vibration instantly. That is why the universe uses synchronicities. They are little alarm clocks. They pull you out of autopilot and bring you to the now. TIG, the 1111 phenomenon, the doorbell of awakening. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why does everyone see 1111? You look at the clock, 1111. You look at a license plate, 1111. The shopping receipt, 1111. At first it's funny to you. Then it scares you. Then it obsesses you. What does it mean? In sacred numerology and metaphysics, 11 is a master number. It represents two pillars, a portal. It is the binary code of awakening. When you see 1111, the universe is telling you, you are aligned. It is a system check. It means that at that precise moment, your thoughts, your soul, and the purpose of the universe are synchronized. The timeline is open. It's like when in video games a portal opens to go to the next level. What to do when you see it? Stop, do not ignore it, acknowledge it. Feel, observe what you were thinking or feeling right in that second. That is the key. Give thanks, say, thank you for the confirmation. Make a wish, optional. Since the portal is open, your manifestation capacity multiplies. It is a good time to launch a quick intention into the quantum field. Do not obsess over looking for it. If you stay looking at the clock waiting for it to change, it doesn't count. The magic of synchronicity is spontaneity. It has to surprise you. Third, the numerical dictionary, God's mathematics. The universe is mathematical. Pythagoras said that everything is number. Angels, or your guides, or your higher self, use numbers because they are a universal language that transcends culture. Here is a quick guide to the most common codes you will see repeated on clocks, plates, YouTube counters, etc. 171111, the beginning, manifestation. Your thoughts are manifesting at light speed. It is a warning. Be careful what you think right now, because you are creating it. 222, 22, balance, sowing. All is well. Have patience. The seeds are planted and growing under the earth. Trust the process and divine time. 33, the ascended masters. You are not alone. Jesus, Buddha, or your own wise ancestors are with you at this moment. They protect and guide you. It is a spiritual technical support number. 444, protection foundations. Angels surround you. You are very protected. You are building solid bases. If you are afraid, it says, you are safe. 555, change, chaos. Fasten your seatbelt. A big change is coming. It may seem chaotic at first, but it is necessary for your evolution. 666. Material imbalance. It is not the devil. It is a sign that you are too focused on the material world. You have disconnected from your spirit. Return to the center. 77C7, Spiritual Luck Jackpot. Congratulations, you are on a roll. You have learned the lesson. The universe applauds you. Expect miracles and rewards. 888, Infinite Abundance. The cycle is complete. Money, love, and energy come towards you. 999, The End. A cycle has ended. Let go of the old. Clean the house for the new, starting with 1. You don't need to memorize them all. When you see a repeated number that catches your attention, ask your intuition, what do I feel when I see it? Then, look it up on Google if you want, but your first impression is usually the correct one. V. Analog signals, feathers, coins, and songs. The algorithm does not only use numbers, it uses anything it has at hand in your physical environment to get your attention. Feathers. Finding a white feather in a strange place is the classic signature of angels or a deceased loved one. It means, I am here. I take care of you. Lighten your load. Coins. Finding cents or coins on the ground. It's not because of the value of the money, it's the symbol. In God we trust. It is a reminder that you are being provided for. The universe supports you. Songs. The mystic radio. You get into the car, and a song plays whose lyrics literally answer what you were thinking. The universe is a DJ. It uses music to bypass your logical mind and speak directly to your emotion. Listen to the lyrics. It is a direct message. Totem animals. Seeing an animal repeatedly, physical or in images. Butterfly. Transformation. Dragonfly. Change of perspective. Hawk, eagle. Higher vision. Spider. Creativity. V. The reticular activating system. Am I making it up? The skeptic inside you will say, this is nonsense. You see 1111 because you've become obsessed with it. It's the reticular activating system, RAS. Your brain filters what you look for. And I say to you, exactly, that is the point. The RAS is the biological mechanism of the algorithm. Your brain receives millions of bits of information per second. It cannot process them all, so it filters and only lets you see what it considers important for you. If you buy a red car, suddenly you see red cars everywhere. Were more red cars manufactured today? No, they were always there, but you didn't see them. Now you see them because your focus has changed. When you start to see signs and synchronicities, it means your RAS has tuned into the frequency of the universe. You have stopped filtering the magic. You have started to see reality as it is, full of connections. Select it is the proof that you are vibrating at that frequency. It is not invention. It is conscious selective attention. And that which you put your attention on grows. The more signs you see and thank, the more signs the algorithm will send you. It is a positive feedback loop. Somehow to ask for a sign, the neon technique. You don't have to wait passively for the universe to speak to you. You can initiate the conversation. You can ask for a specific sign to make a decision. But there are rules. The universe responds to clarity, not ambiguity. The technique. Imagine you are doubting between two options, e.g., moving or staying. Ask in a state of calm, say out loud or write, Universe, I need clarity on whether I should move. If the answer is yes, show me a specific sign in the next 48 hours. Be specific but rare. Do not ask to see a red car. Ask for something unusual. A blue butterfly, a hot air balloon, a yellow rubber duck. Let go, forget. This is crucial. If you go down the street looking for owls obsessively, you block the energy. You have to forget it. Wait for the surprise. If in 48 hours you see the sign, on a t-shirt, on TV, in a drawing, the answer is yes. If you do not see the sign, the answer is no. Silence is also an answer. Do not cheat. Well, I saw a green butterfly, it almost counts. No, be impeccable. If it's not blue, it's no. 7. Navigating by breadcrumbs. Sometimes the universe does not give you the complete treasure map. It only gives you the next clue. It's like a video game. You don't see the end of the level. You only see the next coin. This is called following the breadcrumbs. You get an invitation to an event you don't want to go to, but you feel a sign to go. You go. Nothing special happens there, but you meet someone who recommends a book. You read the book. In the book, there is an idea that leads you to start a business. That business makes you rich. If you hadn't followed the first breadcrumb, you wouldn't have reached the treasure. Speaking with the universe requires blind faith in the immediate step. Do not ask, where does this lead me? Ask, is this the right step now? If you feel expansion and see signs, take the step. The path is made by walking. The car's GPS doesn't tell you, turn right in 500 kilometers. It tells you, go straight until the time to turn. Fail the danger of Synchronicities, spiritual obsession. Safety warning. There is a fine line between living connected and living neurotic. You cannot delegate all your decisions to signs. Universe, should I put on blue or red socks? Give me a sign. No. The universe gave you a rational brain and common sense for a reason. Use them. Signs are for spiritual direction and confirmation, not for avoiding the responsibility of adult life. If you are looking for signs desperately because you are afraid of making a mistake, you are vibrating in fear. And if you vibrate in fear, the algorithm will send you confusing signs or signs that reflect your own fear. I call this the echo effect. You think you see signs that your ex is going to return, not because the universe tells you so, but because your desire is so strong that you project their name everywhere. Golden rule: the real sign gives you peace. The sign projected by the ego gives you anxiety or momentary euphoria, followed by doubt. If you have to force the interpretation, well, if I add up the license plate numbers and divide by 3, it gives 11s. It is not a sign. The true sign hits you in the face. It is obvious. It is undeniable. Chapter 4. Night is for working, dream messages. Sleep is the small hidden door in the deepest sanctuary of the soul. Carl Jung. You spend a third of your life sleeping. If you live 90 years, you will spend 30 years unconscious. Modern society, obsessed with 3D productivity, sees sleep as a necessary waste of time. A dead time to recharge the body's battery to produce again. We go to bed with our mobile in hand, exhausted, and we wake up with the alarm clock rushing. We treat the night as a blackout. But from the perspective of the fifth dimension, this is a tragic waste of resources. Night is not for disconnecting. Night is for connecting. When your physical body turns off and your rational ego falls asleep. When the nightclub bouncer who lets no one in falls asleep, your spirit wakes up. The back door of your mind opens. The universe takes advantage of that moment of logical silence to send you the heaviest information packages, those that do not fit through the bandwidth of your daily life. Dreams are not brain junk or hallucinations. They are urgent emails, intensive therapy sessions, and trips to other dimensions. Your bed is a star portal. Today we are going to learn to work the night shift. Ego censorship, why you don't remember. I never dream. That is a lie. We all dream every night, several times, REM cycles. What happens is that you don't remember. Why? Because your conscious ego has a very aggressive spam filter. As soon as the alarm sounds and you open your eyes, your brain immediately jumps to the beta frequency. Survival, that's action. I have to pee, I'm late. Where are the keys? I have a meeting. The avalanche of 3D data instantly erases the subtle 5D memory of the dream. It is like writing a message in the steam of a mirror and then pouring hot water on it. It disappears. Furthermore, the ego despises dreams because it does not understand them. The universe speaks in symbols, the language of the subconscious. The ego speaks in logic. If you dream you fly over a crystal city, your ego says upon waking, "How silly, that's not real, forget it." And it erases it. But for your soul, that flight was a real experience of astral projection. To recover your nightly life, you must give it value. And you have to go to sleep with the attitude of an explorer entering a treasure cave, not with the attitude of a collapsing corpse. The quantum physics of sleep, the projection. When you sleep, two fundamental things happen. One, biological cleaning. The brain's glymphatic system activates and cleans toxins accumulated during the day. 2, energetic projection. Your astral body detaches slightly from the physical body. It remains joined by the famous silver cord, but it has freedom of movement. While your body of flesh repairs tissues on the mattress, your consciousness travels. Where does it travel? It depends on your vibration before sleeping. This is key. If you fall asleep watching war news or angry, your astral body stays floating in the lower astral, the zone of collective fears, nightmares, and parasites. You wake up tired with an energetic hangover. If you fall asleep in peace, giving thanks or meditating, your astral body rises to the higher astral or the mental planes. There you go to the night schools. There you meet with your guides. There you plan your future. You wake up with solutions and a strange sense of happiness. Talking to the universe during the night implies raising the takeoff frequency. You cannot expect to reach the moon if you depart from a basement full of trash. Thirfra, types of dreams, distinguishing the gold from the chaff. Not all dreams are deep messages. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. To avoid going crazy interpreting nonsense, you must learn to classify your nightly experiences into 3 categories. 1. Discharge dreams, the junk. They are 60 to 70% of your dreams. The brain is processing the day's data, fragments of conversations, movies you saw, work concerns. They are usually chaotic, fast, and without much deep emotional sense. Example, you dream you are in the office but in pajamas and your teeth fall out. Stress. Action, ignore them. 2. Premonitory or message dreams, the gold. These are unmistakable. They are in high definition, HD. Colors are vivid. Sensations are hyper-real. They have a clear narrative or symbolic structure. When you wake up, the feeling lasts for hours or days. They leave you touched. Example, you dream an eagle gives you a golden key and you feel immense peace. Action, analyze these. 3. Visitation dreams, the red phone. You dream of a deceased loved one. Key difference from a normal dream. There is no fear, no drama, no zombies. The deceased person appears healthy, young, and radiant. Often they do not speak with words, but telepathically. They say, "I'm fine, don't worry." You feel their hug. Action, give thanks for the visit. The incubation technique, how to ask for a dream. You don't have to wait passively for the universe to send you a dream. You can order it. This is called dream incubation. It was used in the temples of Asclepius in ancient Greece to heal diseases. You can use it to solve problems. The incubation protocol. The glass of water, Jose Silva's technique. Fill a glass. Drink half. Say mentally, "This is all I have to do to find the solution to problem X." Upon waking, drink the rest saying, "Thank you." The written question. Write your question clearly and shortly. Put it under the pillow. The command to remember. Just as you are closing your eyes in that moment, when you no longer know if you are here or there, hypnagogic state, repeat like a mantra, "Tonight I am going to receive the answer, and I am going to remember it upon waking." It is very likely that that same night or within 3 days you will have a great dream. Part of the hypnagogic state, the magic zone, there is a window of time, lasting between 2 and 10 minutes, just before falling asleep and just before waking up completely. It is the hypnagogic, falling asleep, and hypnopompic, waking up state. Your brain waves are in theta. It is the exact border between the conscious and unconscious world. In this state you are a creator god. What you visualize in those minutes is imprinted directly on the subconscious without ego filters. Neville Goddard called it the state similar to sleep, SATS. If you want to talk to the universe or manifest something, this is the moment. Do not waste these minutes reviewing your problems. Use them for your desire or your question. How to interpret. Throw away the dictionary. You wake up with a strange dream. There was a blue dog chasing a train. You Google dog. Fidelity or hidden enemies. You search train, travel or death. You stay the same or get scared. Throw away the dream dictionaries. The universe uses your personal symbol code, not a generic one. For me, a dog may mean love. For you, terror. The same symbol has opposite meanings according to the dreamer. To decode the message, ask yourself, how did the dream make me feel? Fear, joy, peace. The emotion is the compass. What does that symbol represent to me? In what area of my life do I feel like this now? If the interpretation makes click in the stomach, it is true. 7 nightmares, the universe screaming. No one wants to have nightmares, but they are the most important messages. A nightmare is an urgent certified letter that you have not wanted to open. It is a shadow, a trauma, a fear, a denied part of you that has disguised itself as a monster to get your attention. If you flee, the nightmare repeats. The universe says, look at this. How to deactivate a recurring nightmare. In wakefulness, relive the nightmare mentally. Rewrite the ending. Imagine that instead of running, you turn around. You stand before the monster. You ask, who are you and what do you have for me? Imagine the monster becomes small or a gift. By doing this, you reprogram your brain. Fate, sleep paralysis, do not be afraid. Many of those who begin to awaken spiritually suffer from sleep paralysis. You wake up, but you cannot move your body. You feel pressure on your chest. You hear buzzing. You see shadows. You panic. Relax. It is mechanical. Your mind has woken up before your body. Your body is still in REM atonia, paralyzed so you don't act dreams. You are at the interface between 3D and the astral. Those shadows are the perception of other dimensions, distorted by your fear. Instead of fighting, surrender. Relax. Say, I am safe. This is a projection. If you relax, the paralysis becomes a pleasant vibration, and you can float out of your body. Curiosity turns it into a trip. Side of the night notebook, catching the butterfly. Dreams are like butterflies made of smoke. They are incredibly volatile. The half-life of a dream in your conscious memory is 10 seconds after waking. If you get up to pee, it's gone. If you look at your phone, it's gone. If you want to talk to the universe, you need a dream notebook or voice recorder on the nightstand. It's not enough to say, I'll write it later. Later will not exist. You have to write it while it's hot with eyes half closed in the hypnopompic state. Jot down keywords. Grandmother's house, fire, black cat. By starting to write your dreams, you send a powerful signal to your subconscious. I hear you, I care what you say. Lucid dreams, awakening inside the matrix. The expert level is the lucid dream. It is when, in the middle of the dream, you realize, wait, I'm dreaming. In that moment, the virtual reality becomes ultra-realistic, and you take control. You are no longer a victim of the script. You are the director. You can fly, you can ask to speak with your guides face to face. Lucid dreaming is the perfect training ground for 5D, because in the dream, manifestation is instant. There you learn that reality is mind. When you return to 3D wakefulness, you bring that certainty with you. You know that physical life is just a dense dream, and that you can modify it just as you modified the nightly dream. How to induce it? Reality checks. During the day, ask yourself several times, am I dreaming? Look at your hands. Try to push a finger through a wall. If you do this as a habit while awake, you will do it as a habit in the dream. And that night, you will look at your hands, see they have 6 fingers and say, I'm dreaming. Chapter 5. The Quantum Prayer from Beggar to Creator. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. Look closely at the quote. It does not say, ask and wait to see if I give it to you. It says, believe that you already have received it. For centuries, we have misread the instructions. We have been taught to pray like beggars. We kneel, physically or mentally, bow our heads, make ourselves small and say, please, God, universe, give me this. I need it so much. I am so unhappy without it. Look how much I suffer. Why don't you listen to me? Please, please, please. Let's analyze this from the physics of frequency. What signal are you emitting there? You are emitting scarcity, desperation, smallness, and doubt. The universe is an impartial mirror, as we saw in the previous book. It does not judge if you are good or bad. It simply reflects your signal. If you emit need, the mirror reflects need. The universe answers you, I hear you loud and clear. Granted, you will continue needing. Traditional prayer, as practiced by 90% of humanity, is an affirmation of lack. It is a constant reminder of what you do not have. That is why it doesn't work. That is why the more you pray from fear, the further away the miracle moves. To talk to the universe and be heard, you have to stop behaving like an employee asking for a raise. You must start behaving like the company owner signing a check. Today we are going to learn the quantum prayer. By the paradox of desire, Wanting is not having. In the fifth dimension, time does not exist. Everything is now. If everything happens now, your desire already exists on a parallel timeline. The version of you that is healthy, rich, and in love already exists, vibrating at a higher frequency. The problem is that you, from your 3D identity, are vibrating in I want to be that. The word want is dangerous. It encodes a distance. It means I am here without it. And that is over there, far away. As long as you maintain the vibration of wanting, you maintain the distance. The universe fills the space between you and your desire with time. Okay, you want it. Well, let's put it in the future. And you spend your life chasing the carrot. The quantum prayer eliminates the want and replaces it with have or am. It's not about deceiving oneself, it's about tuning the radio. If you want to listen to station 105.5, Abundance, you have to turn the dial to 105.5 before hearing the music. You cannot say, well, I'll move the dial later. First you move, vibration, then the music plays, manifestation. The quantum prayer does not ask for something to happen. It recognizes that it has already happened in the energetic plane and commands its download to the physical plane. 2. The power of I am, the name of God. In metaphysics, the name of God is not Yahweh, nor Allah, nor Buddha. The name of God is I am. It is the declaration of pure existence. Every time you say, I am, or I am being, you are using the name of God to create. You are invoking the law. It is a programming command for the matrix. Look at how you usually speak. I am a disaster. I am sick. I am poor. I am tired. You are praying all the time, but you are praying against yourself. You are decreeing your own limitation with the authority of the Creator. And the universe says, done. You are a disaster. The quantum prayer starts by watching what you put after I am. Never, under any circumstances, finish that sentence with something you do not want to see materialized in your life. Even if your current reality is difficult, do not validate it with your word. Instead of saying, I am sick, say, I am in the process of healing, or my body is remembering health. It seems like a minor semantic change, but vibrationally, it is the difference between closing a door and opening it. When you say I am health, even if you have a fever, you are calling upon the energetic matrix of health to superimpose itself onto your physical reality. Third, giving thanks before receiving, the time hack. When do we normally give thanks? After receiving the gift. They give you the package, you open it, you see that you like it, and you say, thank you. It is a linear, logical reaction, cause, effect. But in quantum prayer, we reverse the process. We give thanks before. Why? Because gratitude is the biochemical and energetic signature. It is the signature that the event has already occurred. When you feel genuine gratitude, your body releases dopamine and oxytocin. Your heart enters coherence. Your electromagnetic field emits the signal, it's already here, how good it feels. The universe, which does not distinguish between physical and imagined reality, catches it. It catches that event completed signal. And since the universe hates dissonance, remember God's algorithm, it rushes to bring the physical event to match your emotional signal. If you give thanks for your new job before you have the interview, you are collapsing the probability wave. You are hacking time. The formula: do not say, please let them give me the job. Say, thank you, universe, for this wonderful job, where I feel valued and well paid. Thank you because it is already mine. If you manage to feel the relief of having it, the job is yours. It is law. IV, decreeing versus asking, the authority. A beggar asks, a king decrees. You are a fragment of the source. You are cosmic royalty with amnesia. Speaking with the universe requires reclaiming your spiritual authority. Jesus did not ask, please God, if it's not too much trouble, could you heal this blind man? Jesus commanded, rise and walk. Ephatha, open up. He used the imperative. He did not doubt. He knew that energy obeys clear intention. I'm not telling you to go around giving orders to heaven with egoic arrogance. I'm telling you to speak with the firmness of the Spirit. A decree is an affirmation of truth said with conviction. Supplication, 3D. I hope I find parking, please. Decree, 5D. The perfect spot for me appears. I claim it now. When you decree, You align your will with divine will. It's not doing what I want. It's allowing what belongs to me by divine right to reach me. Doubt annuls the decree, certainty activates it. Father feeling is the prayer. Greg Braden. Tibetan monks, when they pray for world peace, do not merely repeat words. They enter a state of trance where they feel peace. They visualize the world without wars. They feel love in their hearts. They weep with compassion. They were asked, "What is the prayer?" They replied, "The feeling is the prayer. Words are just the wrapper. The feeling is the content. If you repeat positive affirmations, I am rich, but inside you feel fear and anguish, I won't make it to the end of the month, you are emitting fear. The universe listens to the feeling, not the word. The quantum prayer is an act of emotional management. Before asking for anything, feel it. You have to rehearse the emotion of success. How would you feel if that debt were paid? Would you feel euphoria? No. Probably you would feel relief and peace. Well then, sit down, close your eyes, and generate relief and peace now. Take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Smile. Stay in that feeling of problem solved. Stay for 5 minutes. That is the prayer. You have changed your magnetic signature. Now you are compatible with the solution. Vikai releasing the how, the logistical surrender. This is where the rational ego spoils the prayer. Okay, I decree to be rich, so I'm going to buy lottery tickets, or I'm going to ask for a raise, or... You start to micromanage the universe. You tell it the what, wealth, and you also try to impose the how, lottery. By doing this, you close millions of doors. You leave open only one, the one your limited mind knows. Golden rule: your job is the what, defining the desire, and the why, the emotion, motive. The universe's job is the how, the logistics, and the when, the perfect time. Do not interfere in God's work. He has a 360-degree vision. You only see what is in front of your nose. Perhaps wealth does not come through the lottery, but through an idea, an inheritance, a gift, or an investment opportunity that you didn't even know existed. If you pray saying, "Let me win the lottery," you are limiting the infinite. Pray saying, "I open myself to receiving infinite abundance in all expected and unexpected ways for my greatest good," and release control. Let the universe surprise you with the logistics. It is usually much more creative than you. Seventh, the cleaning prayer, Ho'oponopono. Sometimes you don't need to ask for anything new. You need to clean the old that prevents the new from arriving. Sometimes the best prayer is the data erasure. The Hawaiian technique of Ho'oponopono is a form of cleaning quantum prayer. It is based on 4 phrases said to the universe or to the divinity in you. I'm sorry. I recognize that something in me has created this reality. Please forgive me. I forgive myself for having maintained this erroneous thought. I love you. I return to the frequency of love, 5D. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to release this memory. When you have a problem and don't know what to ask for, because you are confused or hurt, simply repeat these 4 phrases like a mantra. You are clearing the channel. You are saying, "Universe, I don't know how to fix this, but I surrender my memories of pain to you so that you may transmute them into light." Often, the miracle occurs right after this cleaning. Face the repetition trap, faith versus doubt. How many times should you ask for the same thing? If you ask once with total faith, it is enough. If you keep asking for the same thing every day with anguish, please, let it arrive, please. You are confirming that you do not believe it has been granted. You are digging up the seed to see if it grows, and thus you kill it. Imagine that you order a dish in a restaurant. You tell the waiter once, and you relax, drink your wine, and chat. You don't go to the kitchen every 2 minutes to shout, "I want my dish, they aren't bringing my dish." If you did that, they would throw you out for being crazy and you would delay the food. You trust the kitchen. It is the same with the universe. Make your decree with strength and emotion. Release it, it is done. In the following days, if the desire comes to your mind, do not ask for it again. Simply give thanks that it is already on its way. Thank you, universe, because I know you are taking care of that. That keeps faith high. Faith stays high without generating resistance. Nice practical example, rewriting your script. Let's transform a 3D prayer into a 5D prayer. Beggar version, 3D. Oh my God, I am so alone. Please send me someone. I don't want to be alone any longer. I promise I will be good. I just want someone to love me. I am sick of suffering. Why me? Vibration, loneliness, victim, plea, sadness. Creator version 5D. First, enter a state of calm silence. Universe, I know that love is my natural state. I give thanks for the perfect partner who already exists in the quantum field and who is approaching me right now. I feel the joy of their company. I feel the warmth of their embrace. Visualize and feel. I feel complete and happy now. I declare that I am ready to receive a healthy, sacred, and fun love. I appreciate who I am, and I appreciate who arrives. It is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vibration, love, certainty, gratitude, fullness. Note the difference. The first leaves you empty, the second leaves you full. The second is magnetic. The first is repellent. Desperation smells bad energetically. Chapter 6. Emotion as Fuel. The Magnetic Secret. Thought is the electrical signal that sends information to the universe. Emotion is the magnetic wave that draws the event back to you. If you only think but do not feel, you are sending an email without hitting the send button. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Imagine you have the fastest sports car in the world parked in your garage. It is a perfect machine of Italian engineering. It has a state-of-the-art GPS navigation system, your mind, that knows exactly where to go. You program the route, destination, abundance, and freedom. You sit down, grip the steering wheel firmly, and look forward with determination. But the car does not move. Hours pass, days pass. You get frustrated. You shout at the GPS, "Hey, I put in the correct address. Why are we still in the garage?" The answer is painfully obvious. You haven't put in gasoline. Or even worse, you have a tank full of dirty water. In the metaphor of manifestation, thought is the navigation system. It indicates the direction. But emotion is the fuel. It indicates power and movement. You can spend 20 years visualizing that you are a millionaire or that you are healthy. But if while you visualize your body is chemically addicted to anxiety, lack, or boredom, you are not going anywhere. The universe does not respond to what you have in your head. The universe responds to what you have in your heart. Today we are going to learn to refuel with high-octane fuel. The physics of the magnet, electricity versus magnetism. To understand this, we have to go back to basic science but applied to consciousness. Everything in the universe is electromagnetic energy. You are a biological transmission tower that emits a constant signal to the quantum field. That signal has two components. Electrical component, brain. Thoughts are electrical impulses between neurons. They define information. I want a house on the beach. Magnetic component, heart. Emotions are magnetic waves emanating from the center of the chest. They define attraction. I feel the joy and peace of living on the beach. Here is the critical fact that the HeartMath Institute discovered and that changes the rules of the game. The magnetic field of the heart is up to 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain. Read that again. 5,000 times. This means that emotion has a pulling power 5,000 times superior to intellectual thought. If you think I want to find a partner, weak electrical signal, but in your heart you feel I am afraid of being hurt again, massive magnetic signal, fear wins by a landslide. The universe, which is a great magnetic mirror, will ignore your thought and obey your fear. It will bring you more loneliness or relationships. It will bring relationships that confirm your fear. That is why positive affirmations repeated like parrots in front of the mirror, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, do not work if inside you feel poor. You create a vibrational dissonance. It is like stepping on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. The car makes a lot of noise, wastes a lot of energy, but it doesn't move and the engine burns up. To speak with the universe, you have to align thought and emotion into a single coherent signal. We call it the electromagnetic signature. 2. The failure of commercial law of attraction. The movie The Secret did a great job introducing these concepts, but it left out half of the equation. It told people, visualize and you shall have. And millions of people started cutting out photos of Ferraris and pasting them on boards, while continuing to feel miserable in their 9-to-5 jobs. Result: massive frustration. This is a scam. It doesn't work. It's not a scam. It's that the secret ingredient is missing. The universe does not hear what you say. It hears what you vibrate. Emotion is the language that translates thought into matter. It is the cosmic glue. Without elevated emotion, thought is just smoke. It dissipates. With elevated emotion, thought densifies and falls into physical reality. The common error: waiting for something good to happen to feel good. When I win the lottery, I will feel secure and happy. Error. That is Newtonian physics, cause and effect. In quantum physics, 5D, you are the cause. You have to feel secure and happy before seeing the money. That emotion is what attracts the money. You have to hack your own biology. You have to teach your body how the future feels before it happens. Third, what is an elevated emotion? Premium fuel. Not all emotions serve to create the life you desire. There are high-frequency emotions, premium fuel, and low-frequency emotions, dirty fuel. Dirty fuel: contraction, fear, anger, guilt, shame, sadness, apathy. These emotions contract your magnetic field. They disconnect you from the source. They make you dense. If you try to manifest from here, you will only create more obstacles. It is like throwing sand in the engine. Premium fuel: expansion, gratitude, love, joy, inspiration, freedom, peace, wonder. These emotions expand your field. They make you light. They connect you to the cosmic Wi-Fi. When you vibrate here, resistance disappears. Things flow. To speak with the universe and make a wish, you first have to fill the tank with premium. You cannot ask for a miracle while being angry. The line is cut. First, manage your emotion, raise the vibration, and then make the request. Never, ever make decisions or make decrees from a low vibration. It is preferable to go to sleep and wait until tomorrow than to try to fix the universe from anger. Le fameux fear, the most powerful prayer. You will tell me, but if fear is low vibration, why do my fears manifest so quickly? Excellent question. Fear is a low-frequency emotion, but of very high intensity. It is a brutal electric current. When you are afraid that your child will get sick, or of losing your job, you don't think about it a little bit. You think about it with your whole body. Your hands sweat, your heart jumps out, you can't sleep, you dedicate 24 hours of obsessive attention to it. You are visualizing the worst-case scenario with 4K clarity and feeling it as if it were already happening. That is a perfect quantum prayer, but in the negative. You are using manifestation technology with mastery, but to create hell. The universe catches that signal so intense, job loss, and says, order received. This user is putting all their energy into this. Let's give it to them quickly. The lesson here is, intensity matters. If you put the same amount of obsessive and visceral passion into your dreams that you put into your imaginary catastrophes, you would be unstoppable. The universe does not distinguish between good and bad for you. It only distinguishes between much energy and little energy. Where you put emotion, you put life. V technique. The emotional rehearsal method acting. How do we generate the emotion of being rich if we are in the red? How do we generate the emotion of love if we are alone and sad? This is where emotional mastery comes in. The brain does not distinguish between a real experience and one lived intensely in the imagination. The actor's exercise. The best Hollywood actors, Stanislavski method, do not pretend to cry. They remember something sad and cry for real. Their body chemistry changes. You have to be the best actor of your own life. Close your eyes. Disconnect from your current 3D reality, which tells you that you are poor alone. Visualize the final scene, not the process but the end. The wish already fulfilled. You are signing the deeds to your house. You are hugging your partner. You are looking at your full bank account. Invoke the senses, 5D key. What does the new house smell like? Fresh paint, wood. What does your partner's hand feel like? What sound does the sea make in front of your terrace? Elevate the emotion. Here is the trick. It is not enough to see the image. You have to ask yourself, how do I feel now that I have this? You probably feel relieved. Feel that relief in your chest. Feel how your shoulders relax. Feel the silly smile that comes to your face. Stay there. Amplify that sensation. Anchoring. When the emotion is at its maximum peak, goosebumps, tears of joy, say, "Thank you, it is done." If you do this 10 minutes a day, you are reprogramming your body. Your body begins to believe that you already live in that reality. It begins to change your DNA and your neurochemistry to match the dream. And most importantly, your magnetic field begins to attract that reality. First, gratitude as an accelerator. Of all emotions, gratitude is the queen. Gratitude is the frequency of reception. It is impossible to feel gratitude and fear at the same time. They are biologically incompatible. When you give thanks, you are telling the universe, "I trust, I have already received. It is enough." If it is hard for you to visualize or generate complex emotions, go to the simple. Give thanks. Give thanks for the morning coffee. Give thanks for the warm bed. Give thanks that you breathe without pain. That state of gentle appreciation places you immediately in the vortex of manifestation. It is the shortest path to change your frequency. If you have a terrible day, stop and look for 3 things to be grateful for. You will change the radio channel from radio complaint to radio miracle in 30 seconds. Certes, beware of need, the repellent. There is an emotion that disguises itself as desire, but is actually poison for manifestation. Need, needy energy. I need this job desperately. I need her to call me. Need vibrates in lack and fear. It is a sticky, heavy, and repellent energy. When you need something with desperation, you push it away. It is like trying to catch a butterfly by running after it with a net and shouting. The butterfly flees in terror. The magnetic secret is detachment. It is saying, "I want this. I love the idea. It excites me. But if it doesn't arrive today, I'm fine. I am happy anyway." That relaxed and playful attitude is irresistible. The universe loves people who have fun. If you turn your manifestation into forced labor of life or death, you block the flow. Relax, play. Tell the universe, this or something better, and release the bottleneck. Face, emotional alchemy, transmuting lead into gold. What if I am truly sad? Do I have to pretend to be happy? No, that is spiritual bypass and it is toxic. If you repress sadness or anger, they stay stuck in the body and lower your vibration permanently. To speak with the universe, you have to be authentic. If you are sad, use that energy. Emotion is energy in motion, emotion. There are no bad emotions. There is only misdirected energy. Anger. It is a very powerful energy of change. Use it to set boundaries, to say enough, to start a project with strength. Do not use it to destroy, use it to build. Sadness. It is an energy of depth and connection. Use it to create art, to write, to empathize, to go inward and clean. When you feel a dense emotion, do not deny it. Feel it. Give it space. Say to it, "I see you. Thank you for the message." And then ask yourself, how can I raise this energy a little? From depression, move to anger. It's already an upward step. From anger to frustration, from frustration to hope. From hope to belief, from belief to knowing. Climb the emotional ladder step by step. Do not try to jump from the pit to heaven in one leap. Keeping the flame, vibrational diet. Generating elevated emotion during meditation is easy. The difficult part is maintaining it. When you go out on the street and there is traffic, or your boss yells at you, or you see the news, the 3D world is designed to lower your vibration. News sells fear. Advertising sells lack. If you expose yourself to that without a filter, your fuel tank empties and fills with dirty water. You need a vibrational diet. Just as you wouldn't eat rotten trash, do not consume rotten information. Stop watching news of tragedies before sleeping. Stay away from energy vampires who only complain. Listen to music that elevates you. Music is the fastest tool to change emotions. Protect your joy as if it were gold, because it is. It is your currency of exchange with the universe. If you notice your vibration dropping, stop. Take a heart coherence pause. Breathe slowly. Recalibrate. Do not allow yourself to be in low vibration for more than 10 minutes. You have the right to be angry, but you do not have the right to stay and live in anger if you want to be a conscious creator. Chapter 7. Words of Power. Abracadabra. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. Surely you have heard the word abracadabra in children's magic tricks or fantasy movies. A magician pulls a rabbit out of a hat and shouts the magic word. It seems like child's play to us, but the etymology of this word is sacred and terrifying. It comes from the ancient Aramaic abracadabra, which literally means I create as I speak. It is not a trick. It is a physical law. You are a sorcerer. But you are a sorcerer with amnesia who walks through life casting spells at random without realizing that your magic wand, your throat, is always turned on. You wake up and say, I am so tired, this day is going to be horrible. Spell of exhaustion cast. You look at your bank account and say, I never have money, I am a disaster. Spell of poverty cast. You talk to a friend and say, it's just that all men are the same, they always cheat on me. Spell of loneliness cast. And then, when the universe obeys you and brings you a horrible day, poverty, and an unfaithful partner, you are surprised and say, why do I have such bad luck? It is not bad luck. It is bad diction. You have been ordering your own misfortune with impeccable precision. Today we are going to learn to deactivate unconscious black magic. Today we start using conscious white magic. Today we are going to learn the real weight of words, the physics of sound, vibrational architecture. Before entering the mystical, let's talk about mechanics. Sound is vibration. When you speak, your vocal cords make the air vibrate. That sound wave travels and crashes into matter. Dr. Masaru Emoto demonstrated with his famous experiments with water crystals that words have the ability to alter the molecular structure of matter. By sticking the label love and gratitude on a jar of water, the frozen crystals formed perfect sacred geometries, similar to snowflakes or diamonds. By sticking the label, I hate you, you disgust me, on another jar, the water froze into chaotic, brown and asymmetric shapes, similar to cancerous cells. You are 70% water. Your brain is 80% water. Imagine what you do to your own biology every time you look in the mirror and say, I am so fat, or I look so old. You are structuring your internal water toward chaos and disease. You are giving instructions to your cells to decay. And you don't just affect yourself, you affect the atmosphere of your home. You affect your plants, your children, and your reality. Words are not carried away by the wind. Words are bricks. Each sentence that comes out of your mouth is a brick that you place in the wall of your future house. If you build with bricks of complaint, fear, and doubt, you will live in a dark bunker. If you build with bricks of power, truth, and beauty, you will live in a palace. The throat chakra, the bottleneck. In energetic anatomy, the fifth chakra, Vishuddha, is located in the throat. It is the center of manifestation. Notice its location. It is between the head, where ideas are born, and the heart, where emotions are born. It is the bridge. It is the bottleneck. For something to pass from the invisible world to the visible, it must pass through it. The act of speaking is the act of giving birth. We convert the immaterial into physical waves. When you have the throat chakra blocked, by lies, by secrets, by not saying what you feel, or by talking too much without sense, your manifestation capacity is strangled. Symptoms of blockage: hoarseness, thyroid problems, neck pain, fear of public speaking, excessive shyness, or uncontrollable wordiness, talking just to talk. Symptoms of opening: clear and resonant voice, ability to say no without guilt, ability to speak the truth with love, and most importantly, what you say happens. The great masters, Jesus, Buddha, the yogis, had this center totally open. That is why their words were law. You have the same potential, but you have to clean the filter. 3. The black magic of complaining. The most common and destructive form of misuse of the word is complaining. Complaining is literally praying for what you do not want. When you complain about traffic, the weather, the government, or your back pain, you are doing two things. 1. Validation. You are affirming that unwanted reality is real. 2. Anchoring. You are tying yourself. Complaining is addictive. Neurologically, every time you complain, your neurons rewire to make it easier for you to complain in the future. You become an expert at seeing the bad. And the universe, which is an algorithm of God, says, "Wow, this user loves to talk about problems. Let's send more problems so they have a topic to talk about." The fast from complaints. I propose a radical challenge, 24 hours without a single complaint, not one, not how hot it is, nor how slow the internet is, nor it hurts here. If one escapes you, the counter returns to 0. It is incredibly difficult. You will realize that 80% of your social conversations are based on shared complaining. But if you achieve it, your energy will change drastically. You will stop losing power through your mouth. You will become magnetic. People will want to be near you because your field is not contaminated with negativity. IV, the source code I am. We already mentioned this in the chapter on prayer, but here we are going to go deeper. The words I am or I am being are the most powerful programming code of the matrix. What you put after those two words is a direct order to the universe about your identity. The universe does not understand jokes or sarcasm. It takes it literally. If you say, "I am useless with technology," the universe will block your learning capacity to prove you right. If you say, "I am sick with tiredness," your cells will stop producing ATP. The danger of identification. Never say, "I am diabetic," or "I am depressive." Say, "I have a diagnosis of diabetes," or "I am passing through a moment of sadness." The difference is abysmal. In the first case, you tie your identity to the disease. It is very difficult to cure something that you are. In the second case, it is a temporary circumstance that you have, but that you can let go. You are perfect health living a temporary experience of imbalance. Watch your I am like a hawk. Use them only to build I am capable, I am abundant, I am peace, I am that I am. V. Uninstalling the virus, forbidden words. There are words that act like Trojan viruses in your mental operating system. They seem harmless, but they steal power, create doubt, and sabotage your manifestations. Eliminate them from your vocabulary today. Try. The virus of failure. As Master Yoda said, "Do or do not. There is no try." The word try presupposes the possibility of failure. I'm going to try to be on time. Translation, I'll be late and I already have the excuse. It tells your brain it doesn't need to commit 100%. Substitute, I will. I am doing it. But, the universal eraser, this word negates everything said before. I love you very much, but... Translation, I don't love you that much. I want to be rich, but the economy is bad. Translation, the economy is stronger than my desire. Substitute, and... I want to be rich and the economy is bad, so I will find a new opportunity. Hopefully. I hope that, the virus of doubt. This places you in a passive and victim position. You are waiting for an external force to save you. Substitute, I trust that. I know that. I choose that. I can't. The system shut down. The moment you say I can't, pay for it, do it, forgive it, your brain stops looking for solutions. It shuts down. Substitute, how could I do it? I decide not to do it now, or I don't know how yet, but I will learn. Little by little, the virus of scarcity. We are moving forward little by little. Why little by little? Why not step by step, which implies firm progress, or quantically? Substitute, step by step, constantly, at a divine pace. By installing the software words of power. Now that we have erased the viruses, let's install the high-performance programs. These words raise your vibration instantly. I choose sovereignty. Instead of I have to go to work at obligation slave, say I choose to go to work because I value my salary. It changes the charge from victim to creator. Everything you do is a choice. Thank you, reception. It is the definitive mantra. Use it as punctuation. Start and end the day with it. I intend to, laser, before a meeting, a date, or sleep. I intend for this meeting to be productive and kind. You are pre-paving the future. You are sending the hotel bellhop to prepare the room before you arrive. I open myself to permissiveness. I open myself to receiving unexpected money. I open myself to new solutions. It breaks mental rigidity. Famous the power of silence, containment. Speaking is spending energy. Sometimes the greatest word of power is the one not said. In alchemy, the vessel where the transmutation occurs must be hermetically sealed. If you open the lid, the steam escapes and the magic does not happen. When you have a new project or a new love, be quiet. Do not tell anyone right away. Do not post it on social networks the first day. Why? 1. Dissipation. By speaking it, you release the internal pressure necessary to perform it. The brain feels it has already done it. 2. Contamination. If you tell someone with low vibration, their doubts will enter your field. Keep your dreams secret during the gestation phase. Care for the seed under the earth. Do not dig it up to show it to the neighbors. Speak only when the project is already solid and cannot be knocked down by foreign opinions. Silence protects. Silence accumulates power. 30. Writing is spelling, scripting. In English, to spell, deletrear, and spell, hechizo, are the same root. Writing is casting spells, spelling. Handwriting is a psychomotor technology that connects the brain, heart, and hand to imprint an idea in matter, paper. It is slower than thinking and therefore more powerful. It forces you to focus. Scripting is the technique of writing your desired reality as if it were a diary from the future. Exercise. Buy a beautiful notebook. Each morning, write 5 or 10 lines describing your ideal day as if it had already happened. I am so happy and grateful now that I have received that call. Write it in the present tense. Feel the ink flowing. By writing it, you are signing a contract with the universe. What is written is fulfilled. Review your old diaries from years ago. You will be surprised to see how many things you wrote as desires are today your daily reality. As the decree, speaking with authority, there is a difference between affirming and decreeing. Affirming is saying something positive. Decreting is emitting a law. The decree is done out loud, standing up with a straight spine and using the diaphragm voice. It is the voice of command. When chaos surrounds you or you need urgent change, make a decree. Example from the violet flame or classic metaphysics. I am the governing presence that directs this situation. I do not accept chaos. I order divine peace in my mind and in my home now. Say it with strength. Let your chest tremble. The universe responds to the vibration of authority. The atoms of the atmosphere reorder. When a sovereign consciousness gives a clear order, do not be afraid to use your power. Verbal diets and opinion fasts. To finish, I propose a cleaning. Just as you do a sugar diet, do a toxic word diet. For 7 days, do not criticize anyone. If you have nothing good to say, be quiet. Do not complain about anything. Do not talk about illnesses, yours or others. Do not talk about scarcity or how expensive everything is. Observe how your energy level changes. You will feel lighter, happier, and more lucid. Your throat will heal. Your voice will become more attractive. And you will begin to notice that when you say something, it happens much faster. You have cleaned the conduit. Chapter 8. The Invisible Council. Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we bring bodyguards. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, adapted. There is a very damaging myth in our culture, the myth of the self-made man. We love the image of the solitary hero who, against all odds, builds an empire or overcomes a tragedy without anyone's help. But from a metaphysical perspective, the self-made man does not exist. It is a technical impossibility. No one walks the earth alone, no one, not even the most skeptical atheist. Imagine you are the CEO of a large multinational company, your life. You have to make difficult decisions, manage resources, deal with crises, and plan for the future. Do you think a sensible CEO does all this locked in their office without consulting anyone? No. They have a board of directors. They have expert advisors in finance, law, marketing, and human resources. When they have a problem, they call a meeting. They listen to the experts, and then they make the final decision, free will. You have exactly the same thing. From the moment of your conception, You were assigned a team of non-physical specialists. They are with you 24/7. They do not sleep. They do not eat. They do not go on vacation. They do not judge you. And they work for free. Their only mission, their only reason for existing, is to make sure you fulfill your soul's plan. The problem is that most people live ignoring their team. They live like an arrogant CEO who has blocked the boardroom door and tries to fix the photocopier alone while the company burns. Today, we are going to open that door. Today, you are going to meet your invisible council. The hierarchy of help. Don't call the CEO for everything. Often we say, I asked the universe, or I prayed to God. That is fine. The source, God, universe, is the origin of everything. But in the daily management of reality, the source delegates. If the bathroom pipe breaks, you don't call the president of the government. You call a plumber. If you have a legal problem, you call a lawyer. The spiritual world is highly specialized. There are entities in charge of physical protection. There are entities in charge of creative inspiration. There are entities in charge of family matters. Knowing who to call speeds up the process. It is not polytheism, it is efficient bureaucracy. Your team is divided into 3 main departments: angels, guides, and ancestors. 2. The frequency department, the angels. Forget about the chubby cherubs with harps you see in Renaissance paintings. Angels are not humans with wings. They are geometric intelligences of light. They are pure frequencies. The word angel comes from the Greek angelos, which means messenger. They are the maintainers of the laws of physics and metaphysics. They have no ego. They have no human personality. They don't get offended. They have no sense of humor. They are like laser beams of divine intention. 1. The guardian angel. This is your personal bodyguard. It is assigned to you at birth and leaves with you at death. Its function is exclusive: protection. It ensures that you do not die before your agreed time. It is that voice that shouts, "Break," milliseconds before an accident. You don't need to invoke it, it is always on. 2. The archangels, the department heads. They are managers of large areas of the human experience. You can call them according to your need. Michael, blue ray, protection, cutting toxic ties, courage. Raphael, green ray, physical and emotional healing. Gabriel, white ray, communication, art, writing, news. Jamuel, pink ray, love, relationships, finding lost things. Uriel, gold ruby ray, abundance, peace of mind, provision. When you invoke an archangel, the atmosphere of the room changes. A change in pressure and temperature is felt. They are high voltage energies. 3. The coaching department, the spiritual guides. Unlike angels, spiritual guides have been human. They have experience on earth. They know what it is to be cold, hungry, heartbroken, and doubtful. That is why they are such good advisors. They have empathy. They are usually evolved souls who no longer need to reincarnate but choose to stay to help those of us down here. You have a main guide who is with you for life, and temporary guides who come and go according to the stage. If you start studying medicine, a medical guide will approach. If you start painting, an artistic guide will come. They have personalities. Some are stoic, others are very funny and jokey. They communicate through sudden ideas, synchronicities, and books that find you. They don't tell you what to do, they respect your free will, but they leave clues. They are your best invisible friends. If you feel alone, talk to them as if they were sitting on the sofa. The answer often comes as a wise thought. 5. The roots department, the ancestors. In the first book, The Invisible Legacy, we worked hard to heal the lineage, but once the tree is clean, the ancestors become your greatest source of power. Blood is the Wi-Fi password. No one has more interest in you doing well than your own grandparents and great-grandparents. You are their continuation. There are 2 types of ancestors you can work with. Healed, luminous ancestors. Those who died in peace. They are sources of wisdom and protection. If your grandfather was good at business, invoke him before a meeting. Unhealed, wandering ancestors. Those who died with trauma or addictions. You don't ask them for help, you give them light. Having an ancestor altar at home, photos, a candle, is not worship. It is keeping the telephone line open. When you honor your ancestors, they cover your back, literally. Many psychics see ancestors forming a semicircle behind the person, like a defensive barrier. V. The Galactic Department Star Family. For those who resonated with the fifth dimension and identified as starseeds, there is a fourth group, the Galactic Family, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians. These do not usually intervene in mundane matters like parking or mortgages. They intervene in your evolution of consciousness and your mission. They work with your DNA and your energy body while you sleep. Chapter 4. They are the systems engineers. If you feel that your 3D life is suffocating you, connect with them. Ask them to help you remember your origin and maintain your high frequency. Their energy feels very electric and bluish. So the law of non-interference, the golden rule. If you have so many helpers, why do bad things happen? Where were they when you were heartbroken or broke? The universe is governed by the law of free will. Your guides and angels are forbidden to intervene in your life unless your life is in mortal danger before your agreed time. You give them explicit permission. They are extremely polite. They do not enter without calling. If you do not ask for help, they assume you want to play the hard mode level alone. That is why prayer is not an act of weakness. It is a permission voucher. When you say, "Angels, help me," you are signing the legal authorization for them to act. Without that yes, they cannot touch anything. You have to ask for help for everything. You don't bother them. On the contrary, they get bored if you don't use them. Accustom yourself to delegating. Angels, take care of the traffic. Guides, find me the book I need. The more you delegate, the more fluid life is. Safety technique, the boardroom meeting. How do you talk to them? You need imagination and coffee. Visualization exercise. Sit in a quiet place with your coffee. Imagine you are entering a beautiful meeting room, a glass office, a sacred cave. Sit at the head of the table. You are the CEO. Imagine your advisors entering and sitting down. To your right, your main guide. To your left, your guardian angel. Behind, your wise ancestors. Start the meeting. Talk to them mentally. Good morning, team. Today we have these items on the agenda. A difficult meeting with my boss, and I'm worried about money. Guide, give me the words. Grandpa, help me feel secure. Angel, protect me. Feel the sense of relief. You no longer carry the weight alone. Open your eyes and live your day. If you do this every morning, you will see how solutions appear magically during the day. 18. Discernment, spiritual security. Is everything I hear a guide? No, there is the lower astral. There are parasitic energies or prankster entities that can pose as guides to feed on your fear. How to differentiate a real guide from an imposter? Use the vibration test. The fear test. A guide of light will never scare you. They never threaten you. If you hear a voice that judges, criticizes, or frightens, it is your ego or a parasite. Cut it off. Say, "I do not authorize you. Go." The freedom test. A guide of light never orders you. They suggest, "You could do this." An imposter gives orders. The name test. Ask, "Do you come in the name of the divine light?" Lower entities cannot lie to this direct question. Guides are pure love. Even when they correct you, they do so with infinite sweetness that makes you weep with gratitude, not guilt. Sign to signs of presence, you are not crazy. As you strengthen the relationship with your team, you will begin to notice their physical presence. Do not be afraid. It is normal. Temperature changes. Suddenly you feel a gust of cold air, ancestors, or an enveloping heat, angels. Smells? You smell pipe tobacco, your grandfather, or roses in a closed room. Touches? You feel a soft pressure on the shoulder or a caress in your hair. Buzzing? High-pitched ringing in the ear, frequency change. When this happens, simply smile and say, "Hello, I know you're there, thank you." Recognition strengthens the connection. Chapter 9. Inspired Action. The answer is you. Pray as if everything depended on God. Work as if everything depended on you. St. Augustine. The universe has no other hands than yours. St. Teresa of Avila. Imagine this scene. You are sitting on the sofa in your living room. You are hungry. Very hungry. You close your eyes and enter an alpha state. You put your hands in a mudra and visualize a pepperoni pizza in great detail. You feel the smell of the melted cheese. You feel the heat of the cardboard box. You feel the gratitude of eating it. You emit the frequency of satiety. You open your eyes and wait. 10 minutes pass, an hour passes, there is no pizza. You get angry. The universe doesn't work. The law of attraction is a scam. But the universe from its dimension is shouting at you, "My child, I have sent you the idea of the pizza. I have sent you the growling of your stomach. I have put the mobile phone in your hand. Dial the damn number." Here lies the biggest misunderstanding of the new age. We believe that talking to the universe means that we ask and the universe does the dirty work while we watch Netflix. We believe that spirituality exempts us from physical responsibility. Error. We live in a universe of co-creation. The prefix co means together. The universe provides the energy, the synchronicity, the opportunity, the idea. You provide the matter, the action, the movement, the risk. If you do not move, the energy stagnates and the miracle is aborted. Today, we are going to learn to move our feet. The sofa myth, the spiritual waiting room. There are many awakened people who live in a permanent paralysis. They have read so many books on flowing, letting go of control, and trusting divine timing that they have interpreted that doing things is low vibration. They think that exerting effort is very 3D, so they sit and wait. They wait for Prince Charming to knock on the door without leaving the house. They wait for the job of their dreams to call them without sending resumes. They wait to heal without changing their diet or going to therapy. This is not faith. It is spiritual laziness, or fear disguised as mysticism. The physical universe is dense. To move matter, you need to apply physical force. Visualization and prayer align the subtle energies, yes, but those subtle energies need a conduction channel to enter 3D. That channel is you. You are the avatar of the universe in the video game of Earth. If the player, your soul universe, wants to move a mountain, it needs the avatar you to pick up the shovel. Without a shovel, the mountain does not move, no matter how much the player wishes to move it. Inspired action is the bridge between the invisible world of possibility and the visible world of reality. Without action, spirituality is just philosophy. With action, it is magic. Forced action versus inspired action, the key nuance. This is where people get confused. But you told me in the previous chapter not to worry about the how. Now you tell me I have to do things. Yes, but there are two ways of doing things. Forced action, 3D, ego, born from fear and the need for control. It is the hustle, the culture of effort and sacrifice. It feels heavy, exhausting, and linear. You push closed doors, you insist, you pursue. Your mind says, I have to do this because if I don't, I won't get money. The result is stress, burnout, and mediocre results. You are rowing against the current. Inspired action, 5D soul, born from intuition and enthusiasm. It feels light, exciting, and almost inevitable. You don't have to do it, you want to do it. It is like when you fall in love and drive 5 hours to see that person. You don't get tired. It's not a sacrifice, it is an electric impulse. You are flowing with the current. Inspired action is usually illogical for the rational mind, but it makes perfect sense for the heart. Talking to the universe does not mean staying still. It means waiting for the signal, and when it arrives, acting with lightning speed and the certainty of a laser. 3. The impulse, how the command feels. How do you know when the universe is asking you to act? It is not usually a thunderous voice saying, "Go now." It is usually a subtle impulse or a recurring idea. You are washing the dishes and suddenly it comes to your mind. I should call Marta. Your logical mind says, I haven't spoken to her in 5 years, how weird. And you don't call her. That was the universe giving you a direct instruction. Maybe Marta had the key to your new job. Maybe Marta needed urgent help, and you were the answer to her prayer. By ignoring the impulse, you cut the flow. Inspired action feels like a sudden curiosity about a topic. An inexplicable desire to go to a place, an idea that lights up your chest, expansion, and makes you smile. A gentle but persistent urgency. Do it, do it, do it. When you feel that, obey. Do not analyze it. Do not postpone it. The universe operates in real time. The window of opportunity is sometimes open for only minutes. If they tell you turn right, and you keep going straight analyzing whether you should turn, you miss the exit. Facts, the 5-second rule, hacking the brain. Mel Robbins popularized this tool, and it is pure gold for manifestation. Your brain is designed to protect you from the unknown, 3D fear. When you have an idea of inspired action, your soul says yes, but your brain has a window of about 5 seconds before activating defense mechanisms. How embarrassing, they will judge you. If you do not act in those 5 seconds, the brain kills the idea. Doubt enters and paralyzes the action. To talk to the universe through your acts, you have to be faster than your fear. The technique: when you feel the impulse, the idea, the intuition, count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. And move physically before reaching 0. Raise your hand, dial the number, buy it, walk out the door. By moving physically, you break the pattern of mental paralysis. You show the universe that you are ready to play. Inspired action requires courage, not certainty. Certainty arrives after the action. Wu Wei, doing without doing. In Taoism, there is the concept of Wu Wei. It is often mistranslated as doing nothing. In reality, it means effortless action or aligned action. It is the difference between swimming and floating. When you float in a river, you move. You move very fast, in fact, but you are not making muscular effort. The current carries you. Inspired action is Wu Wei. It does not mean you don't work. You can work 14 hours a day on your project and be in Wu Wei if those 14 hours feel like play, like flow, like passion. If you are writing a book and the words come out on their own, you are in Wu Wei. If you are forcing every sentence, you are in forced action. To talk to the universe, look for the path of least resistance. If a door does not open after knocking 3 times, it is not that way. Stop banging on the door. The universe is not testing your resistance to pain. It is telling you that the door leads to a cliff. There is surely an open window nearby. Inspired action always feels like a key entering smoothly into the lock. Vese, the bridge of incidents, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard explained that between your desire, state A, and its manifestation, state B, there is a bridge of incidents. It is a series of events that have to occur to take you from A to B. Often those events seem like bad luck or illogical deviations. Example: you ask for a better job. The next day you are fired from your current job. Your ego shouts, "What a disaster! Universe, I asked for help and you ruin me." But in reality, that was the action of the universe. It had to get you out of where you were so you could be available for the offer coming next week. The firing was the first brick of the bridge of incidents. Inspired action also implies trusting in apparent chaos. Sometimes the universe will ask you to do things that seem to go against your logical objective. You want to save money, and you get the impulse to invite friends to dinner. That dinner connects you with an investor. You want to arrive early, and you get the impulse to take the long way. On the short way, there was an accident. You do not see the complete map. The universe does. If the GPS tells you, turn in the opposite direction, do it. It knows something you do not know. Seamus, micro movements, taking the first step. Sometimes the objective is so big that inspired action is blocked by fear of the magnitude. The universe does not ask you to jump into the void without a parachute today. It asks you to take a micro step. You cannot drive a parked car. For the GPS to give you instructions, turn right, the car must be in motion. If you are still, the GPS says calculating route, but it does not guide you. You have to start moving even if it is slow, even if it is in the wrong direction. The GPS will recalculate. Ask yourself, what is the smallest and most ridiculous action I can do today to get closer to my desire? If you want to write a book, write 1 sentence. If you want to travel, renew your passport. Even if you don't have money for the ticket. This small act is a ritual of faith. It tells the universe, look, I am preparing. I am making space. I am buying the suitcase before having the trip. And the universe responds. Face, fear versus intuition, the action radar. How do I know if the action I want to take comes from fear or from intuition? If the action is born from fear, it feels like an escape. You are in a hurry. You feel anxiety about the result. I have to do this. so that X doesn't happen. If the action is born from intuition, it feels calm, firm, or with a positive nervous excitement. Sometimes inspired action is scary. Fear is not a stop signal. If the fear is paralyzing terror, stop. But if the fear is growth vertigo, jump. The universe will always ask you to leave your comfort zone because your desire, 5D, does not live in your comfort zone, 3D. If it doesn't scare you a bit, it's not big enough. Right? When action is not doing, active waiting. Sometimes inspired action is doing nothing, staying still, waiting. This is the hardest thing for the Western ego, which loves productivity. There are moments of winter in manifestation, moments of gestation. You have planted the seed, prayer, visualization. You have watered, emotion. Now you have to wait for it to sprout. If you dig up the earth every day to see if it grows, forced action by anxiety, you kill the seed. If you ask the universe, what do I do, and the answer is silence or a sense of peace, quiet, then your inspired action is to enjoy your life while you wait. Go to the cinema, walk, take care of yourself. That is high vibration action. Keeping yourself happy and distracted while the universe cooks your order is the most productive action you can do. Detachment is a magnetic action. X, the leap of faith, the Indiana Jones leap. Do you remember the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? There is a scene where Indy has to cross a giant abyss. There is no bridge. His father's diary says he has to take a leap of faith. He is terrified. His logical mind tells him he will die, but his intuition and heart tell him to jump. He lifts a foot and takes a step in the air, and his foot lands on an invisible bridge that was camouflaged. This is how inspired action works. The universe often does not show you the bridge until you have taken the step into the void. It wants to see if you trust. If you wait to see the bridge to take the step, it is not faith, it is logic, 3D. If you take the step when you don't see the bridge, it is faith, 5D. And the bridge appears. Have a crazy idea? Feel you should leave that job for your passion? Take the step. The universe will not let you fall, but it cannot put the floor under your feet until you lift your foot. Chapter 10, Radical Surrender. Thy will be done. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. St. Francis of Assisi. Water is the softest of all things, yet it can pierce mountains and earth. This clearly demonstrates the principle that softness overcomes hardness. Lao Tzu. We have reached the last and most difficult lesson of all. It is the final door that separates the apprentice from the master. It is the concept that most terrifies the human ego: surrender. When we hear the word surrender, our 3D mind thinks of war. It thinks of a defeated soldier, kneeling in the mud, raising a white flag while the enemy aims at him. It thinks of failure, of weakness. It thinks of losing freedom. But in the language of the fifth dimension, surrender means victory. It means stopping fighting against the current of the river of life to, at last, allow the current to take you to the ocean. You have spent your life, and this book, trying to control your reality. You have learned to clean your lineage, to raise your vibration, to visualize checks, to ask for signs, and to decree with force. All of those are wonderful tools. They are the oars of your boat. But there comes a moment in the evolution of every soul in which the river widens, the current becomes powerful, and the ocean is in sight. In that moment, the oars no longer serve. In fact, they get in the way. In that moment, the universe asks you to let go of the oars. It asks you to trust that the water knows where it is going better than you do. Today, we are going to talk about letting go of control. Today, we are going to talk about absolute faith, the co-pilot's illusion, who is really driving. Imagine you are on a plane. You are a small child, 3 years old. You are sitting on the lap of the pilot, the universe, God, your higher self. The pilot has his hands on the controls and knows exactly the route, the weather, the altitude, and the destination. But you, the child, eager, have a plastic toy steering wheel in your hands. You turn your wheel to the right and shout, "Let's go this way." The plane turns to the right because the pilot lovingly turns it. You believe that you have turned the plane. You feel powerful. Look how I control. But suddenly, a storm comes in. The pilot knows that it is necessary to climb in altitude to avoid turbulence. You with your toy wheel want to go down because the clouds scare you. You turn to the left and shout, "No, down, down!" The pilot, who loves you and wants to save your life, ignores your toy wheel and climbs the plane toward the sunlight, through the storm. You cry, kick and scream, "God has abandoned me, he doesn't listen." This is the tragedy of the human condition. We believe that our ego, with its limited vision of 1% of reality, knows what is best for us. I want that specific job. I want that specific person. I want it not to rain on Saturday. And when the universe, which sees 100% of the map, tells us no, we enter a crisis of faith. Radical surrender consists of realizing that your steering wheel is a toy. It consists of looking at the pilot and saying, "You know what? You know how to fly. I don't. I'm getting out of the way. Take me where I need to go. I trust in you." To the fear of "Thy will be done," reprinting the contract. The phrase "Thy will be done" has been very mistreated by traditional religion. We have been taught to say it with fear, like someone expecting a punishment. Thy will be done. Sigh. Even if it is painful, even if you send me an illness, even if you take away what I love, like we believe that God's will is suffering, that we believe God is a stern father who wants to teach us a lesson with blood. Erase that from your mind right now. That is theology from the Middle Ages. The universe is unconditional love and constant expansion. The will of the universe for you is always greater happiness, greater freedom, greater abundance. The universe wants you to shine because you are an extension of it. If you suffer, the universe suffers. Therefore, saying, "Thy will be done," is not signing a sentence of pain. It is signing a blank check of well-being. It means, "Universe, my small will, ego wants to earn €2,000 a month and live in this flat. But your infinite will perhaps wants me to earn 20,000 and live in front of the sea. Since you dream bigger than I do, I renounce my small plan and accept your big plan." Surrender is not resignation. It is optimization. It is stopping settling for what your limited mind can imagine to open yourself to what the infinite mind can create. Third, the dark night of the ego, the collapse of control. Normally, we do not reach radical surrender by choice. We arrive crawling. We arrive when life has hit us so hard that we no longer have the strength to fight. Your partner leaves you. You are fired. You get sick. Everything collapses at once. You tried to visualize, you tried to decree, you tried massive action, and nothing worked. You are on the bathroom floor, crying, exhausted, broken. That moment, which seems like the end, is actually the beginning of the magic. It is the dark night of the ego. In that moment of total breakdown, you say, "I can't do it anymore. I surrender. Do what you want. I don't care." And in that precise instant, you feel a strange peace. You feel a weight of 1,000 tons lifted from your shoulders. You have let go of the toy steering wheel, and, paradoxically, just when you surrender, the miracle occurs. The call arrives. The solution appears. Health improves. Why? Because you stopped emitting resistance. You stopped blocking the flow with your tension and your fear. You became transparent, and the light could pass through. The lesson of this chapter is, do not wait to be broken to surrender. You can surrender right now, while being well. You can surrender through wisdom, not through suffering. You can save yourself from the collapse. First, the art of not knowing, the sweetness of ignorance. The ego is addicted to knowing. It needs to know what is going to happen tomorrow, how it is going to pay the mortgage next year, if that person is the one. Uncertainty terrifies it. But in 5D, uncertainty is the playing field of infinite possibilities. Radical surrender implies embracing the "I don't know." I don't know how this is going to be fixed, and it's fine. I don't know where this path takes me, and it's fine. When you rest in the "I don't know," you release an immense amount of mental energy that you previously spent on ruminating and planning catastrophic scenarios. That released energy becomes presence. You become brighter, more magnetic, more happy. You stop being the general who has to plan the battle, and you become the tourist who enjoys the landscape, trusting that the guide knows the route. Can you imagine the freedom of waking up in the morning and saying, "Universe, surprise me, I have no agenda, use me"? That is living in paradise. Trusting in benevolence. Einstein's question. Albert Einstein once said, "The most important decision a human being must make is, do I believe I live in a friendly universe or in a hostile universe?" If you believe the universe is hostile, surrendering is suicide. It is lowering your guard before the enemy. You will always live in tension, defending yourself. But if you decide to believe that the universe is friendly, benevolent, surrendering is the most logical and safest thing in the world. It is like letting yourself fall backward, knowing there is a net. You have to make that decision today. There is no scientific proof yet, but there are pragmatic proofs. The people who trust live better. The people who trust get sick less. The people who trust have more luck. Synchronicity. Radical surrender is based on the premise, the universe conspires in my favor. Even when it seems that everything is going wrong, the tower, the universe is conspiring in your favor. It is tearing down the false to build the true. It is taking away the good to give you the excellent. If you hold that faith when everything is dark, you are invincible. The golden box technique, delegating the problem. How is surrender practiced in daily life? You cannot simply stop thinking about your problems. You need a psychic ritual. The golden box exercise. Visualize a golden box, precious, shining, located on a high shelf in your mind, or have a real physical box on your altar. Write your problem on a paper. 3. Take the paper in your hands and say, "Universe God, this problem is too big for my human mind. I have tried to solve it and I cannot. It is stealing my peace, so I give it to you. I gift it to you. From this moment on, this problem is yours, not mine. You take care of the logistics. I take care of maintaining my peace." 4. Put the paper in the box. Golden rule. Once it is in the box, you are forbidden from worrying about it. If the worry comes to you, say, "No, that's not my business. The management department, God, is handling that. I am just an employee. They will let me know if I have to do something." You will feel immediate relief. 7. When the answer is no, divine protection. Sometimes you surrender, you ask, you trust, and the desire does not arrive. The person you loved marries someone else. The job is given to another. The trip is cancelled, and the ego shouts, "Betrayal. I surrendered and it didn't work." Listen well. A no from the universe is a yes to something better, or it is a no to a danger that you did not see. There is a famous country song that says, "Thank God for unanswered prayers." If the universe had given you everything you asked for in your life, including that toxic ex, your life would be a disaster today. The universe has a 360-degree perspective and infinite temporality. You have a 1-degree perspective and temporality of now. If the universe closes a door in your face, do not stay clawing at the wood. Say, "Thank you. I don't know what you have freed me from or what better thing you are keeping for me, but I trust your judgment more than my whim." Surrender accepts the no with gratitude. Fate, the flow state, Wu Wei. When you live in surrender, you enter the state of flow. You no longer push life, life lives you. You become a dancer who does not think about the steps, but rather lets himself be moved by the music. Things become easy. You meet the right people without looking for them. Money arrives just when it is needed. The right words come out of your mouth without preparing them. It is the state of great athletes, jazz musicians, and mystics. It is the state where you disappear and only the action remains. There is no longer an I that doubts, that fears, that calculates. There is only life expressing itself. This is the final objective of talking to the universe. The goal is not to get a Ferrari. The goal is to achieve this state of constant union, because in this state, happiness does not depend on what you have, but on what you are. The end of the search. You are what you seek. During 3 books we have searched. We have sought to heal the ancestors. We have sought the 5D. We have sought to talk to the universe. But in radical surrender, you discover the final cosmic joke. There is no one to talk to. There is no you here and a universe up there. You are a wave in the ocean. Does the wave need to shout at the ocean to get it wet? No, the wave is water. The wave is the ocean in motion. You are the universe experiencing itself as human. You are the source disguised as a person with problems. When you surrender, the disguise falls off. You realize that all the time you were talking to yourself. So I realized that you were talking to your higher self. You realize that you were never lost, nor stained, nor alone. You realize that you are the way, the truth, and the life. Conclusion. You are the universe. Close the book, take a deep breath, and feel the silence that remains in the room. For pages and pages, we have talked about techniques, frequencies, codes, and signals. We have learned to tune the radio, to send mental emails, and to interpret dreams. We have assumed that there are two entities in this conversation. You, the small human down here, and the universe, the great intelligence up there. But I have to confess something to you. That separation was necessary for you to learn, but it was an illusion. It was a pedagogical trick. The final truth, the one that you can only bear now that you have cleaned your past and raised your vibration, is this. There is no one on the other end of the line. There is no up there. Everything you have been looking for, asking for, and praying for is you. You are not in the universe, you are the universe. You are consciousness focused on a point. You are the divine source experiencing what it feels like to have skin, to be cold, to be afraid, and to have hope. When you ask for a sign, it is yourself, your higher self, leaving clues on the path for you to remind you who you are. When you see a synchronicity, it is you winking at yourself from eternity. When you feel love, it is God recognizing himself in the mirror of your chest. The search is over. You no longer have to look for God in temples, nor on mountains, nor in sacred books, not even in this book. The next time you want to talk to the universe, do not look at the sky. Look at your hands, look at your eyes in the mirror. Listen to your own heartbeat. There is the burning bush. There is the control room of reality. We have traveled a long way in this trilogy. We began by healing the rotten roots of our ancestors, the invisible legacy. We continued by opening our wings toward a new consciousness, the fifth dimension, and we have finished by learning to use our voice as creators, how to talk to the universe. The hero's journey is complete. The orphan has found his father, only to discover that he is the heir to the throne. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are no longer a cork floating adrift in the sea of chaos. You are the captain, you are the ship, and you are the sea. Go out there. Stop asking for permission to live. Stop apologizing for shining. Speak with authority. Love without fear. Walk with the certainty that the ground will form under your feet with every step. Life is not an exam you have to pass. It is a canvas you have to paint. The brush is in your hand. The colors are in your heart. And the entire universe is holding its breath, waiting to see what masterpiece you are going to create today. Thank you for the journey. Welcome to your life. You are the miracle.